Shalom Shabbat. Happy Sunday, Ambazonia. People of the United Nations Trust Territory of the British Southern Cameroons. Shalom. There is no 5-day ghost town. That was a scam from La République du Cameroon. We continue to observe our traditional Monday Ghost Town Day, which is the only way for our civilians to show the world that they are not satisfied. We want independence, separation from La République du Cameroon. Good citizens of Ambazonia. This one na number 156 episode for my daily podcast for now. Today na Sunday number 4 for number 8 month for the year 2019. My name na Capo Daniel. You are welcome to my daily podcast. Siseko Ayoktabi says we are happy but unsatisfied. Following news say the lawyer them for detainee them for La République du Cameroon then finally meet up them. First, people of Ambazonia. Today in my keeping, na La République du Cameroon, their playbook. That means we don't get detailed information where they come up for the French embassy of leaked document, submission from La République du Cameroon, where it be meant for the new ambassador from France. This leaked file contain details of La République du Cameroon, their strategy and insight of their war against Ambazonia. But first, it can make almost 1 year now since Herman J. Cohen, the former United States Assistant Secretary of State for Africa Affairs, be sent strong warning for La République du Cameroon government in a tweet where he be talk say time is running out for the Cameroon government for the crisis where they face and for the Anglophone regions them for return to the pre-1972 federation within 1 year or will face a complete cessation of Ambazonia. The warning where Herman Cohen began almost 1 year ago, if he tell you the time we will day for this war revolution. When you see how clouded it gather, then at the time we could not say rain the be about for 4. Ambazonia need to know the time of its history and the place where it day for the crossroad for history. For make sure some will ramp up our actions to defend our territory. Now time for we for show the war, so we'll not day for any compromise for our rights under international law. The enemy know this better and they will do all type of things for use all kind conny for make sure say then divert we for standing our grounds, so that when the time will come for judgment, we will fall for the side for compromise. All the fake and corny dialogue, the way they put them for before, all not only fake things them for divert we make we blink and then we compromise the aspiration of our people for independence. Time is indeed running out for the enemy. The enemy is doing its last trick in the book to trick us back into a false hope and derail us from our track to independence. Self-defense don't bring we this far, and self-defense need to carry us through. We need to demonstrate, so we don't take over charge for the narrative, take over our ability, our self-determination for determine, for establish our independence, will be declared 2017. Fellow Ambazonians, now time for we for buy more guns, for equip our boys to defend our territory against state-sponsored terrorism from La République du Cameroon and to fight to liberate ourselves. Now the time for actions on the ground. Now the time for the complete deployment of the contender force. Yes, we don't receive advice, so we need to show dynamic control over our territory. We need to demonstrate that even with the ghost town, now, more than ever before, ghost town supposed to be a Mami Wata ghost town henceforth. As we get into these final stages for our liberation, we beg Ambazonian them for deep in their pocket and support the contender force. They will need bullets. They will need bullets more and more this week and this month. Yes, Ambazonia is rising to fall no more. Our anthem, our national flag, our nationalism is rising to fall no more. Yeah, make we go back into this report. Very important report. I will try for brief weighty way inside the report so that make una understand the content. According to this report, will be meant for the new ambassador and a team of French intelligence officers for Yaoundé embassy when after they control the whole that country. According to this document, it shows say La République du Cameroon, their general them, they be make an initial assessment, say it go take them 3 months for crush down any uprising where it go come if them go ahead for ban the consortium and arrest the leader them for the Ambazonian movement. Repeatedly, for the document, every time where they generate them for La République du Cameroon, they gather, they always talk say they go crush the resistance within 2 to 3 weeks. According to this document, one order where Mr. Paul Biya began on the 30th of November 2017, he be give a military general them 8 weeks for completely destroy all Ambazonian armed resistance on the ground. 3 weeks after he be give that order, they be still gather for inside their war meeting again for assess this progress with the ram make am. They be see say they be encounter a lot of difficulties them. La République du Cameroon be lost tremendous amount of soldiers them to their own bewilderment. Be forced for withdraw all their troops them for checkpoints them at this stage because Ambazonia they be done over ambush them for checkpoints them, harvesting their weapons them. The international community for Yaoundé be very, very worried at this stage, and they decided to bring Atanganji Paul within that period of March 2018. So Atanganji Paul was appointed as Minister of Territorial Administration with a singular mission to destroy the Ambazonia groups on the ground. Atanganji was recommended because of his spy work and the infiltration we be done bring him for inside Southern Cameroon, the time we be work together with Jean Fauchivet. The document they show say Atanganji Paul began to work for the secret service of La République du Cameroon right from the time of Amadou Ahidjo, building up to this revolution. Atanganji Paul began work for assigned people the way they could be assassinated for Ambazonia previously. Atanganji Paul he says na be bring on the table a lot of strategy where Pobia they use them for fight against Ambazonia. According to this document, Atanganji Paul be bring together counter-revolutionary tactics where they be deploy them on the ground. We also include the hiring of some activists. They be the Preach Federation already at that time. I go likely suspect say the description of Padia Sanga will fit the bill because no name no be mentioned there. But we be see if the work way Padia Sanga be doing, in particularly with Yannick, the fake Amber boy, and many other instances them. We will be see them where they do them when they make phone call for our boys them on the ground. One of the counter-revolutionary strategy was the creation of parallel armed groups tasked with kidnapping, killing, and sowing confusion amongst the general public. To make this very effective, pastors in particular, quarterhead, renowned business people, and even traditional rulers were listed as possible target of this undercover work, with the main objective will be clear: to isolate the Ambazonian fighters from the general population and destroy the relationship that exists between the Ambazonian fighters and the general population. Atanganji, he quote, we did for this document, now to break this umbilical cord between the Ambazonian fighters and the population. This plan also involved the hiring of a PR firm that is going to use international NGOs, press corps to blackmail the Ambazonian fighters using the actions of these groups. This was a campaign to convince the entire world to believe, say, all the kidnapping and atrocity that will be committed by the Ambazonian forces. This strategy be put in place. It be work fine, but it be get a big setback, in particularly in the massacre will be take place for Mpinyin around the 25th of May 2018. Some fake Amber boy them where they be go round up youth them for instance Mpinyin, bring them for can kill them, be get cold feet. The task force will be been a backup for those fake Amber boy them, then quickly run into the scene, execute and kill all those 30 youths them for Pinyin, including the fake Amber boys. Unfortunately, eyewitness they be survive, and in their attempt to kill these eyewitnesses, them go for inside hospital, move them, kill them, execute them. And the international press no be buy the story how they be expected they go buy them, because plenty witness they become out for talk, including medical staff and some opposition party them for establish say those people they be murdered by La République du Cameroon, their armed forces them. So a program will be meant for destroy the Ambazonian revolution instead backfire turned being a nightmare against La République du Cameroon. There was another reassessment of their strategy. Atanganji Paul decide instead for directly recruit Amber Boys them, then decide for infiltrate and look for ways where they feel infiltrate and use Ambazonians themselves or their institution them for recruit this same boy them for carry out the same policy them where they be try for do them for break the umbilical cord between the Ambazonian civilians and the Ambazonian fighters. Some people for inside Ambazonian, when Ambazonian they were recruited, sent abroad with a specific mission to infiltrate the Ambazonian revolution, according to this report. These agents were supposed to use now the real Ambazonian forces to target chiefs, to target priests, to target churches, and all the same targets. This time not by just fake Amber Boys, but also by legitimate Amber Boys, who are going to be manipulated to enforce this same policy that was supposed to be done by fake Amber Boys. These agents were also instructed to create proxy groups to continue the same policy in case the legitimate Amber Boys resist implementing these policies. This strategy still failed according to the report, and the army still tend to use their own proxy groups to fight rather than using legitimate Ambazonian groups who were now resistance to those policies. Local newspaper and press them where they be involved, where they be bribe for go ahead for begin do the propaganda, as well was now resistance, as more Ambazonian journalists they strive to speak the truth about what be happen on the ground. At one point, instructions were sent to some of those agents in the diaspora to use the tactics of divide and rule. We only guess who were involved because no names of Ambazonians are written in this document. The only name will be for this document, Nanjume Franklin and Ekema Patrick, who were working directly with Atanganji Paul. These people then be linked with the BAS. The anti-Sardinal movement be referred to for this document as patriotic Cameroonians. They be linked up with their own propagandists for use their material even amongst the Francophone their population, for bring up morals among their own people them concerning the war. Franklin Jume and Ekema Patrick were advised to ramp up and amplify the divide between the Northwest and the Southwest according to them. Specific instructions were given for them to label all people from the Northwest according to them as troublemakers, as people behind the fighting that is going on within their own region. The success of all these policies were very limited and their setback were very huge. Ambazonian then beheld their grounds according to these reports. And the unity amongst the two regions for the Anglophone region according to them still remained strong. Double agents they be instructed for feed the Ambazonian people with their same medicine. That means they then use excessive tactics for a ghost town and lockdown to see how it will get an effect on our population for cut those umbilical cord. All these attempts failed woefully. Despite this, the population continue to respect the ghost town in dismay of our occupiers. The respect and enforcement of lockdown and ghost town na number one indicative for La République du Cameroon whether the Ambazonians revolution still be intact according to them. And this result be very positive for Ambazonia. Another review be made again by Atanganji Paul with their center command, and decision be made say me then start use graphic images. That means say dead body them for Amber Boy them. Me they start use those bad images them for spread them for internet for begin show people them how they key Amber Boy them. Them they expect say these images them go demoralize and terrorize the Ambazonian civilians them. They be also give specific instruction. Say me only then gun them be placed on those boys them. The images of this dead body them and for sure say Ambazonian fighter them then weak then get only then guns them. They be expect say it go get bad effect for our population and our population go lost hope so no fit win the fight. And young people then go be discouraged for be recruited for fight for against La République du Cameroon. At the same time, they begin a campaign for suppress the portrayal of arms and AK-47 them for social media by Ambazonian fighters them, because the images them for stronger fighters with good weapons them begin a strong effect on Ambazonian population and on the youth for being recruited by Ambazonian fighting forces. The task force will be the fight under Atlanganji Paul is supervision. They be even go to an extent for start gather young boy them, key them, for pupu gun them for their corner, just for get those images and for share them for social media, for demoralize our population and our civilians and for no fight against them with the Amber Boys. These fires them show say most chat group them get La République du Cameroun their agents them day where they gather all this their information, give them for them, meet them, penetrate our chat group them for share them. So La République du Cameroun get a group of people them and number the way they for chat group them. Their job now only for share those images them. Their mission be na for convince the general population say they fight na a lost cause. By convincing them with these images, they go lose hope and they go gradually start disobey instructions from the political leadership from the Ambazonian revolution. At one point, lobby firms for inside America be engaged for go after the Ambazonian activists them, in particularly Tapang Ivon, Taanku, for demoralize them and tie them with restraining order with court cases. Another review be made again, and this time specific instruction be meant say me then go after the Ambazonian known generals them. Me then neutralize Ambazonia and their generals. A deadline of December 2018 was given for the neutralization of all the known Ambazonian generals. These two failed big time. Early 2019, around February, the diplomatic corps and most multinational them will be very concerned say La République du Cameroun if we win this battle according to the report and promises the way they be making for their international partners them. The worst situation come now just for July, between July 18 and July 21, where La République du Cameroun, their general them, there are 12 big generals when they fight the war against Ambazonia. They meet up for Bamenda for assess the war situation. Their report be been a blow for Antanganji Paul and Mr. Pobia, then declare for that meeting say La République du Cameroun done lost the war against Ambazonia. La République du Cameroun cannot win the Ambazonian forces fighting for independence. For that meeting, the general for Cameroon, their top general, their chief of staff, with René Claude Meka, be give order inside anger. Say me them better use bomb, me them use all kinds of things for throw them on top of the Ambazonia, their fighter, and for see whether they go full win. He even talks to me they use bomb, me then use all kinds of way they no care about the consequences for the international community. We hear say for that meeting, representative for the French government to be there for inside. That message and that frustration be transmitted for the international partners and for France. Even the content for that meeting be so worried with the La République du Cameroun, their general, and start begin leak out the information for many people them. At the end of the day, La République du Cameroun, they done lost this war, as was declared by Dr. Ayabacho Lucas. The Ambazonians are now controlling in a dynamic fashion 80% of our territory. Time is running out. The international community cannot wait anymore. Game them change. All man that know the truth say La République du Cameroun no fit win Ambazonia. We need for ramped up our possession of our self-determination by carrying out liberation movements, liberation actions by our forces on the ground. Ambazonia need for sustain the projection of power. Once more, good people of Ambazonia, knowledge is power. Be empowered by this knowledge. Be strengthened in your resolve. With the amount of people the way they don't pay the ultimate price for our freedom, we need for fight on. We need for resist. Freedom or nothing else. Like one man made the whole population of Ambazonia, as we don't always do them, every Monday, for rise up, for sit down for house, for ghost town, for show the whole world, say the people that not be satisfied with the union with the République du Cameroun. We want separation and outright independence for the British territory of the Southern Cameroons. Ambazonia. May we resist. May we hold strong. We hold grass. Like one man. We want unity amongst our leaders. May our revolution and fighting for independence be short-lived. May democracy, civil liberty, and freedom reign in Ambazonia for eternity. God bless you. Capo Daniel signing off.